Welcome to Night's Arcade, I'm Sleepless Night, and I'm here today just to give you a bit of an update on what has been happening, and more importantly, what hasn't been happening on the channel. Now, be prepared before I launch into this. If it goes on for a long time, I do apologise. There's a reason why most of my longer videos, like reviews and previews and things like that, when I really have something to say that's important and a message to convey, there's a reason why they are scripted. And the reason that they're scripted is because without a script, it's not that I can't think of anything to say, I just wander off topic. And I end up repeating myself because I can't remember whether I've already mentioned something. So there you are, that's why we have that. But for those regular viewers of mine, there aren't that many. I know most people come here for my reviews, but those who watch most of the content on my channel might have been wondering why, if you don't watch my live streams particularly, why there has been less content on the channel lately than there has been in the past. So I want to stress that that is not a permanent thing. There is a reason for it. The main reason for it at least, was because I was trying to get out the Assassin's Creed Valhalla Ultimate Review. Ultimate Reviews take me a long time to do, because I play the game for hundreds of hours before I can justify calling it an Ultimate Review, rather than the sort of 10, 20, 30 hours that people play usually to make a regular review. And then I sit down and I write the review. But even after doing those things, even after the hundreds of hours I put in and writing the review, it still takes me about a month to edit those together. The reason the Valhalla one took a lot longer was because I encountered several technical issues that I have never come across before when making an Ultimate Review. Although they were a pain in the ass, most of them I could just knock out of the park and get out of the way in a day or two. No problem, and everything was back on track. But the one that caused me the major issues is that all the video that I have captured, or had captured, during the over 200 hours of playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I capture video as I go along when I'm playing these. If I know I'm going to make an Ultimate Review, I go, oh, that's a good thing. That I want to show in the review. I want to demonstrate this in the review. I want to show people that. I capture the video, and then I use those. At the end, I compile all those videos, and I look through it, and it takes me, dozens and dozens of hours to pour through all the video and edit it all together to make a usable review the way I want to make one. When I came to do that with Valhalla, after over 200 hours of play, I found that about 70% of the video I had captured was corrupted. It was just not usable. I do now know why that was, but I'm not going to bore you with the details. All you need to know is that the video was corrupted, so I basically had to go back and play. I had to find save points where I knew, because some of the bits I wanted to show were in the story. So there's specific points in the story that I would use, without giving spoilers, to put in a little funny piece or to show you something that happens at a specific point in the game, like a game mechanic that was important. So I had to go back and play through dozens and dozens of hours of that. And so that's why, if you're here regularly, or you turn up to my live streams, or you're a regular in my Discord, that is why I've made such a big deal about getting this review out of the door. It isn't because this is what I go through every time. No, it isn't. This time, for Valhalla, I went through way more grief than I normally go through to make an Ultimate Review, and I was just glad to get it off the table and out of the door. So, in the end, because I wasn't getting anywhere, I just had to make the decision to just say, right, I'm not going to make any more videos until that video is done. I have to cut back all the content and spend all my extra time doing that one thing. So I am going to return to the teardown Let's Play that I was doing before all that happened, and I am going to go back to making another Shipbreaker Let's Play because they have reset progression. But after that, I'm going to start dialing back the Let's Play videos that I make. For the simple reason that I realized quite a long time ago, and I'm sure you guys all figured this out for yourself as well, people generally don't watch Let's Play videos anymore. Even big channels, You know, people like, I've heard Danny at ESO say this, even the big channels. There are a couple of reasons. One of them is that when you make a Let's Play, there's like a fall off, there's a curve that you can almost predict exactly what's going to happen. The first episode of a Let's Play gets lots and lots of views, the next one ever so slightly fewer, the next one fewer, and so on and so on and so on. By the 5th or 6th episode, nobody's really watching them anymore. So I know, for example, that Danny at ESO he never finishes one, or quite often doesn't finish a Let's Play series, because people stop watching them after a while. And you can't, that does have an effect on the stuff that you create. It's fairly obvious now that the reason people don't watch Let's Plays anymore is because if they want to watch someone playing a video game, they will go and watch someone in a live stream playing a video game. Because not only are they seeing gameplay, unedited gameplay, from that streamer that they like, but they're also getting to communicate with that streamer and with the chat and the larger community around it. So, why would you just sit and watch a Let's Play on your own if you could do that? So the majority of people who want to watch gameplay videos now will watch live streams, and that makes perfect sense. So I am going to start dialing back the Let's Plays to make room for really, to give me time for. It's not to make room for. When I say make room for, what I mean is to give me more time to make, firstly, more reviews, previews, first impressions, update videos, stuff like that, and other essay-type videos. But also, because in something else that will tie into my live stream in a moment, I want to make more story content. So, one of the other things that's going to happen is that my live stream schedule, which started out for the last year, for the first year of live streaming, I was streaming 3 times a week. Then at the end of 2020, I dialed it down to twice a week because I just didn't have the time to spend all that time streaming. Now I am going to, in the next couple of weeks, dial my live streams, my regularly scheduled live streams, down to 1 live stream per week. So I'll just do 1 regularly scheduled stream. And then beyond that, further into the future, I'm going to stop regularly scheduled live streams altogether. Now, that does not mean, and I need to stress this, that does not mean I will not live stream anymore. What it means is I will not have a regular live stream schedule anymore. The reasons for this, there are 2 of them. The first is because I have a really, really pleasant community, that I love hanging out with. But because a lot of the people in that community have started streaming themselves, I share that community with a lot of other people who stream from my community, some of which are my very good friends. So I've always been very careful not to overlap. They've been careful to select days that I'm not live streaming to do their live streams, and in return, I'm careful not to overlap their live streams. But although it's nice to be nice, I get occasionally video game keys from publishers. And those publishers obviously expect you to make some sort of content, and they like you to make it sooner rather than later. And as a content creator, to capitalize on views, obviously I want to make content, or I want to live stream something as soon as it releases. If I get given a key, what I've been doing is if I get given a key on Monday, and this has happened, I'll go, well, okay, the game releases today and everybody's going to be watching live streams of the game, but I don't live stream. My slot is on Wednesday. So I'll wait and I'll live stream it on Wednesday. And that's not very good for the channel. It's not a very wise idea. So I'm going to stop doing that. And consequently, I will just stream when it's convenient to do so. So I will live stream if there's a game comes out that I really want to share with you, I'll just set the stream up and I'll do it then. If I get a key for a video game, I will tend to stream it on the day it releases, and that's what I'm going to do going forward. So it might be that you get 2 live streams in 1 week and then you don't get another one for 3 weeks or a month. All it means is I'm going to drop off my regular live stream schedule at some point in the future, but we'll start with just dropping it back to 1 day a week. The other reason ties into my story content. I had a bit of an epiphany the other day where, thinking about what I was just talking about with the community, and I'm trying not to tread on anybody's toes, and more people in my community have started live streaming, and I'm trying to avoid, and it's like walking across a field of eggs, but those eggs keep growing. So there are more. I have to be more and more careful where I tread, not to tread on anybody's toes, not to live stream something that one of my friends in my community is streaming, not to stream on a day when they're streaming. And the thing is, there are only so many days in a week, and only so many video games out there, and only so many hours in a day. But I began getting so worried about upsetting the other people in my community that were streaming and stuff like that. It was starting to really weigh heavily on me. And on top of that, I was, to avoid giving people spoilers in my live streams, I was going away when I should have been making videos for the channel, and I was playing a game for hours and hours and hours that I didn't really want to play in my spare time, so that I could reach a point in the game where I wouldn't be giving spoilers when I live streamed it the next day. And all of this kind of started to stress me out until I got to a point, a breaking point came a couple of weeks ago where I just thought, this has become my life. This has become the channel, and I never wanted it to be this. I love video editing. I love storytelling. This is not what I came to YouTube to do. I came here to tell stories and hopefully make people laugh, and that's what I want to do. The reviews, of course, have become very popular, so I'd like to keep doing those because I do enjoy the editing process, but there will be more story content coming up in the future. So, for example, stuff like the Captain Cade Sunday stories that I used to put on the end for the last minute or so of my Sea of Thieves videos in character as Captain Cade, or the minute or so that I put on the beginning of my Among Trees videos, which were like diaries and letter entries from a character I call Charles Winterbourne, who was talked a lot like that, you know, my darling Felicity. This is my 37th day in the wilderness. That kind of thing, right? And I love that sort of thing because I'm a storyteller by nature. That's who I am. It's just what I do. And of course, I'm a voiceover artist by profession. So that all lends itself very well to doing those sort of things. So coming up very soon, there will be an Among Trees story video in character as Charles Winterbourne. So instead of 1 minute at the beginning and then 5 minutes of me running around, or 25 minutes of me running around going, and here's another thing they've added to the video game, Among Trees, they've added these plants here and this. So instead of that, it will be a completely in-character role-playing story. So it'll be a complete Charles Winterbourne story from beginning to end. So it won't be me, it'll be that character. And hopefully I'm going to take that to other videos in the future. You know, like I might do videos completely in character as Captain Cade, talking to Sunday, and I might do video, you know, there should be, hopefully, more as Butch Dumar, which is one of the story videos, the roleplay videos I put on the channel before, which people really seem to like. And they really seemed to respond well to the Among Trees bits at the beginning. People seem to like those. So there'll be more of that sort of stuff. The only other thing I want to mention before I disappear, I have avoided mentioning for a long time. I set up a GoFundMe for a new PC for Knights Arcade, and I did it a couple of months ago. But I don't think I've mentioned it really in a Knights Arcade video. I've mentioned it on the live stream a couple of times. But before anybody gets really up in arms about it and goes, that's it, I'm out, right? I just want to make something very clear. I've avoided doing this for years. And for the last 3 years, people have been asking me, regular commenters and things like that, and people that really believe in my content and want to see me do other things, have been asking if there is a way they can contribute and donate to my channel that means YouTube won't take a big chunk of it, or, you know, that Patreon perhaps won't take a chunk of it, or whoever it is. You know, when we were over on Twitch, when I used to live stream on Twitch, same thing. So people want to know how they can donate things to me without YouTube or Patreon or Twitch taking a big chunk. So eventually, finally, I set up a GoFundMe. Now, I am so nervous about doing this. I put it off for a long, long time, and I've avoided mentioning it in a video until now. I just realized I kind of had to, because I made the decision I'm not going to take any money out of my GoFundMe account, so I won't be making any withdrawals. But GoFundMe only allows you to do that for so long. They want you to start taking the money out. So they've given me a deadline. I can't remember what it is, but I'll put it on screen when I can remember it. Sometime in August, that I need to set up withdrawals, or they cancel it and everybody gets refunded. So that's it. I'm not going to bother. If I have not met that goal, the funding goal, by that point, I will just cancel the whole thing and everyone who's donated will get refunded. because I don't like the idea in the first place, honestly. It's making me kind of nervous, but I did it in the end because several people were asking. Now, before everyone goes into the comments and starts going, that's it, I'm out, I'm leaving, I'm not commenting anymore, I want to make one thing very, very clear. The people who have asked me to do this are some of my loyal viewers, regular viewers, who have been watching virtually everything I've put out on Nights Arcade, everything that I've put out for the last 3.5 years on Nights Arcade, they've watched. So they've watched all the way through my Kingdom Come Deliverance videos and my reviews and all the Let's Plays and things that I've done and the various other silly videos that I've made. They've watched. They've liked on the videos. They've left comments on the videos. These are some of the people who have asked me if there is a way they can contribute. But as soon as you mention something like this, all you get in the comments is lots of people who have never commented on your videos suddenly saying, I don't like that. So in other words, people who don't really want to say anything unless it's something negative or unpleasant. So please don't bother commenting, you shouldn't be doing that, I don't want to hear it, I'll delete the comment, because the fact of the matter is, I've been avoiding this for a long time. I've finally done it. Lots of people have asked me to do it, and, you know, fair enough. So I've set up a GoFundMe. If it's not completed by that date, it's all over. Likewise, Patreon. There is a reason why I haven't set up more tiers on Patreon. There's a reason I keep putting it off and avoiding it, because I have it on a sheet at the side of me, scribbling down ideas for Patreon. And I keep looking at it, and I keep making little scribbles on it. But the problem is, I'm trying to find rewards for my patrons, which will not mean putting my content behind a paywall. My content should be free, always, for anyone who wants to watch it for free. And I intend to stick by that. So I don't even like making update videos that only people who join Patreon can see. I don't like hiding stuff behind a paywall, right? So the problem is I'm struggling to come up with rewards for my patrons, which will mean I don't have to do that. So I've got the $1 patron tier, which just means that you get your name in the patron credits at the end. And then I've got one up at $50. And the reason it's so high is because it's actually something that would cost me a lot of money and take me a lot of time. But there are people who want to donate at a higher level but don't want to go up to that level. So I need some tiers in the middle there, at least one or two in the middle, and I don't know what to put there. I can't come up with any ideas that aren't update videos or subscriber, Patreon only videos, and I don't like that idea. So that's why that's taking a little bit of a while. I will get to it, but it's, if you've got any suggestions, please leave them in the comments. And that's it. You can follow me in all the usual places: Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, Discord. If you want to head over to the Nights Arcade Discord and join the community, we've got some really, really lovely people in there. We have some nice, fun chats. All these things are linked in the video description or on the Nights Arcade channel header. But before I go, I just want to finally say a really, really big thank you to everyone who has regularly commented, who regularly comments, who watches my videos regularly, who leaves likes and stuff like that, because you have heard, I'm sure, content creators since time immemorial saying that means more to me than money. And perhaps you don't believe it, but my hunch is if you don't believe that, then you're not a content creator. Because content creators, by and large, do mean it when they say that means more to me than money. Okay, it does mean more. The support that you guys give to regularly comment on videos, to regularly watch videos, to regularly leave likes and share my videos other places and stuff like that, that support genuinely does mean more to me than anything else. So I just wanted to say a big thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much to everyone who has been loyal this whole time. Normal service, I guess, if you want to call it that, because it's changing, so I can't really call it normal, but I don't know what else to say, will be resumed as soon as possible. But until then, from Nights Arcade, this is Sleepless Night saying nighty-night.